Gotta start off with the forearm check. I've been forgetting to do those recently. Guys, my forearms are growing week by week. I'm telling you, you gotta get on this shit. Anyways, we are on week 2 of the cut. As you can see, the bulk left me quite fluffy, but not out of control, nothing that we can't fix in a couple weeks. We're about 18, maybe 19, 20% body fat right here. Okay, I'm gonna show you what I make for breakfast on a cutting diet. It's pretty much the same thing as a bulking diet, except I eat a little bit less, but you're gonna see everything that I eat, and I'm gonna explain the rationale behind it. So let's go. All right, let's go over the ingredients first. Protein source. We got half a pack of tempeh from Trader Joe's, about 20 grams of protein right here. I'm gonna be using about 5 or 6 of these white mushrooms. It's gonna give me another, I don't know, 5 or 6 grams of protein right there. And by the way, mushrooms are actually complete proteins. They're bioavailable and they contain all of the amino acids that you need that are called essential amino acids that your body does not create on its own so that you can build muscle, okay? We got these green onions here, again from Trader Joe's, a little jalapeno. I'm gonna use probably the rest of this red cabbage here. We got green beans. All this stuff is from Trader Joe's. We're just gonna use a little teaspoon of this avocado oil. I don't use very much of it. It's expensive, plus too much oil is not good for you. Next, we got some red wine vinegar. This is to deglaze the pan because we're gonna be cooking on some high heat, and red wine vinegar is good for you. So we're gonna be using a little bit of that as well. Again, just probably like a tablespoon. We're gonna be using curry powder, allspice, garlic powder, red pepper, and a little bit of pink salt. I don't use too much salt. I try to keep that to a minimum. You don't need that much. Can't forget the fresh garlic. Okay, we're gonna use probably about 2 or 3 of these cloves right here. Pan on medium heat, something like that. This stove gets really hot, really fast. Gotta wash and cut these vegetables. You don't need to see me do that. I'll show you the end result. So a little quick garlic hack for getting it out quick. You want to take the flat of your knife right here and you want to pound it a little bit, just like that. Just one time is all that you're going to need. And then sometimes it'll just come out right there on its own. Or if it doesn't, you just give it a little shake right there. And you just get rid of the pieces. It comes out pretty clean. All right, so if you know anything about cooking, you know aromatics go first. So we got the green onions right there, the jalapenos, the garlic. Gonna throw some some avocado oil in there and we're gonna get that started. All right. This is my favorite part right here. It should make this sound right here. As soon as you put it in, boom. You should smell that shit immediately. While that's cooking for a couple minutes, we're gonna get started cutting the tempeh. Look, see this? Fist size. That's a serving of protein right there, guys. You don't need to get too complicated with it. This is gonna work for meat if you're not a vegan. You can use chicken, you can use beef, anything like that for your protein source. It doesn't matter. Take your fist, go like that, and get about a fist-sized portion of it. It doesn't need to be exact. We're gonna cut that up and throw that in there next, and then we're gonna put in the spice. Tempeh in, boom. First up, the curry powder. Not too much. The allspice. About that much. Right there. Gonna go in with the garlic powder. Again, not too much. Mixy, mixy. You're gonna get some spices sticking to the pan a little bit. It's all good. That is what the red wine vinegar is for. So let that stir fry for just a little bit. A little bit of seasoning stuck to the bottom. It's all good. I'm gonna take this, pop the cap off, and just throw a little bit in there. Not too much. Boom. Should do that. It's gonna get all those spices off the bottom of the pan. Almost forgot, we're gonna be also using, oh, dropped one. We're also gonna be using 3 or 4 of these little fingerling potatoes. So I'm gonna wash these real quick and throw that in the pan next, let it cook for a little while. Potatoes are in. It's gonna buy you a little bit more time because these potatoes, they take a little while to cook. So you wanna cook them thoroughly. They're gonna be pretty tough to chew. Now that the potatoes have been cooking for a while, this is the time to add the salt. It's gonna draw some more water out of the potatoes, help everything cook just a little bit faster. Take this little small one right here. Boop. Just gonna go in like that. Just a little bit of salt right there. That's all we're gonna use. And sprinkle it on there. Boom. The red pepper we're saving for last. Cabbage, boom. A lot of volume right there. Really helps to keep you full. It's just good for you, man. A lot of vitamins, a lot of fiber. The green beans, legumes are good for you too. All legumes have a lot of protein in them. Green beans in particular happen to be very healthy for you as long as you cook them to get rid of what's called oxalic acid, okay, which is an anti-nutrient, and it impairs the absorption of some nutrients, but you get rid of most of it by just cooking it a little bit. So that's what we're doing. Got the white mushrooms, boom, they're going in there too. And lastly, go in with the red pepper. Now you can use as much or as little of this or not at all as you want. Obviously, the spice is completely up to you. However spicy you want to make it, that is up to you. All right, let's test my flipping skills now. Ooh, not too bad, but we spilled some. That's all right. Let's see if I can get this better. There we go. That's how we do it. Boom. So we're gonna let that cook for about 2 to 3 more minutes. Now the order is important here because I put the stuff that needs longer to cook in first, like the potatoes, they need to soften up. But the stuff like the cabbage, the green beans, the mushrooms, we want those to retain a little bit of their texture. And if you cook them too long, they're just gonna let out all of their water and moisture. So you wanna keep these moving so that they get heated up, but they don't just get a chance to just stay on the pan and just sweat. So let's say I want a little bit more protein, or I'm bulking and I just need a little bit more calories. I might add a serving of this. Well, hemp seeds right here, you can buy these in bulk, they're very cheap. 10 grams of protein right there. By the way, hemp seeds are also complete and bioavailable proteins, along with nutritional yeast, which is technically a fungus and also has complete proteins, and they're completely bioavailable. And the macros on them are pretty lit. You got 3 grams of protein in there, 1.5 grams of carbs per serving. I would put maybe 5 or 6 scoops of that in, and boom, done. Altogether, that took me, I don't know, 10 to 15 minutes, including the prep time. And then it'll take me about a minute to clean all that stuff up, but no biggie. Always clean up after yourself, okay? Or Seleno is gonna be under your bed tonight. So that does it. I eat this pretty much every day for breakfast. So I'm gonna go fuck off and chow down on this shit. Hope you guys learned something.